Do you love animals? Maybe you have a favorite pet with you now, or maybe there's one that you remember from years gone by. If you love animals, click the like button. I'm Kyle Orr from St. John's Church in Grimsby, and I am joined today by a group of people who are really passionate about caring for dogs. This group of wonderful folks has taken some dogs into their lives. This group of folks likes helping dogs to find new homes, and this is what's so great about Grimsby. Thanks so much for visiting us this week on What's So Great About Grimsby. If you stick to the end of this video, you will hear how you right now, right where you are, can make such a positive difference in the life and work of an organization, the Texas Chihuahua Rescue of Canada Incorporated. This is just a really interesting group doing wonderful things. I'm going to invite Shirley to just sort of introduce herself and talk to us a little bit about what the Texas Chihuahua Rescue is all about.
Hello, Kyle.
Hi.
Thank you for having us, and
thanks for coming.
Thank you and all our volunteers and adopters visiting tonight. So we are a Canadian-based rescue now. We officially have our Canadian charity status. So we're officially our own autonomous rescue. The grassroots of this rescue it obviously began in Texas as the Texas Chihuahua Rescue in 2015, where the need to adopt mainly Chihuahuas, however, some small breed dogs. And through just kind of an odd connection here up in Canada to Catherine, who is, I guess, who started the rescue. She's from here, and there was a connection made up here to have dogs brought up to Canada. So that was over 5 years ago. And it started off with grassroots, with people driving up and down, bringing the dogs, a few dogs here, usually 4 or 5 dogs, maybe a month. And then they had a transport team called now I forgot their name. Anyway, they, sorry. So they were transporting for us, God's dogs, actually that's their name. So they began transporting dogs up here to Canada to adopters who wanted to adopt dogs from Texas up to Canada. And it's been, we've been doing that, like I said, since 2015. As of today, we adopt approximately 40 dogs a month to loving families here in mainly Southern Ontario. We are starting to branch out to further out of Ontario. However, due to restrictions and what have you, we have dogs coming up to Canada, and we are continually expanding. More people are hearing about us and are interested in adopting. And it's funny because I didn't even know anything about them until one day I saw my friend who had some dogs, and I was interested in getting a second dog. So that's my story. Wow. And I've adopted 3 Texas Chihuahua Rescues. My first one passed away, and I just adopted a second one, and then I just adopted a third one just recently. And wow. That's kind of where we're at. So if anyone wants to jump in when they have a chance to talk, they can add a little more information. It's all volunteer based. None of us get paid to do this. We do it because we are very passionate about dogs and love dogs and want to find great homes for them. It seems to be that a lot of Canadians and Ontarians seem to love little dogs. And we keep bringing them until we have no more dogs.
So this is the kind of connected with a group in the States, the Texas Chihuahua Rescue, and this is the Canadian branch. And this, yes. So you're kind of partners, but your own organization, but you've kind of partnered there. Now, is this just Chihuahuas that you folks do, or are there other dogs that can be adopted as well?
There can be other dogs, and ironically, with COVID, it's opened the doors to many other dogs. So we are Texas Chihuahua Rescue. Mainly, the dogs are Chihuahua mixes. However, we are also small breed rescue, and we are now adopting out all kinds of breeds of all sizes and all shapes. So we have puppies, and we have, we just recently adopted out some Huskies and some Great Pyrenees mixes. So they're 100-pound doggies. So something for everyone. Some people like big dogs, some people like little dogs. So we have something for everyone. So
that's great. And if you want to learn more about the Texas Chihuahua Rescue Canada Incorporated, the website there is in the video description. If you take a look, and you can click over to their Facebook page and learn all about the wonderful work that they are doing, how the dogs get here, and how you can help. And also hear a little bit about some folks who have adopted dogs. So we have also a few guests today, some two-legged guests and some four-legged guests who have adopted a dog. Is there someone who would like to go first and sort of share your introduce your dog and share your experience?
I can go first.
Okay.
I have Bean with me. We started with Bean as a foster. Bean was born with hydrocephaly, which means that she has water on the brain. And as a result is mostly blind and has some other issues. She's a little wobbly in her walk, and has the typical neuro issues of dogs with brain damage. She circles. So the more anxious she is, the tighter the circles are. And we have to be very careful with her head, because if she has a bonk on the head, it can lead to seizures.
Oh dear.
It's fantastic that this rescue exists, because Bean is absolutely one of the dogs that would not have survived a Texas high kill shelter. She was scooped by the rescue in the US and brought to Canada to foster and to be adopted out. But because of her sound sensitivities and because she's blind, new environments are really hard for her. So even our adoption gatherings, where people would come and meet the adoptable dogs, meeting a whole bunch of new people and a whole bunch of other dogs, was just too crazy making for her. And so we had a bunch of meet and greets, and nobody thought that they were Bean's forever family. And we eventually just hit the point where we decided she was home.
Well, that's great.
And so we had an epic foster fail, and she's been with us ever since. And it turns out that she rescued us as much as we rescued her.
I bet. Well, it sounds, in some ways you might call that a fail, but that's a huge win for you folks and for Bean. So how long has she been living with you then?
We have had her since November 2018, Trace. Yeah, November 2018.
Nice. Well, that's wonderful. And so how has you mentioned that Bean has sort of really kind of rescued you. So how has she been just a help to you in your daily life?
You down now. There you go, you're down. Sorry, she doesn't like being up. With the vision issue, it feels scary to her.
Yeah. Hi.
I've been told.
That's right.
In early 2018, we were in a car accident, and I haven't been able to go back to work or do a lot of the things that I was able to do before. And our involvement in the rescue and volunteering with them has given me a sense of purpose. And that's been really, really important for me.
Absolutely.
And Bean is always a good reminder to me when I'm feeling sorry for myself that no matter how much I think I can't do, there's still a lot I can.
100%. And that's a winning attitude as well, is that sometimes when you get barriers in your way, and you can find ways around them and hope to navigate those circumstances. So that's such a wonderful story. And I so appreciate you sharing your story and introducing us to Bean today. Who else would like to sort of share their experience?
Hi, my name is Christine. So in the events preceding, so this is Dexter. Dexter's 4 years old or so. Yeah. Many of the dogs, like they don't come up with a whole lot of information. Some come up with lots and lots and lots and lots and lots of information. And some come up with, here's a dog, he's cute, and he's from a hoarding situation, so he might not like men, and here you go. So the latter is kind of the bio. I meant to actually look up the bio. He was in foster care for 2 to 3 months with another family before he found us. And I say he found us because, oh, there's Kleenex here. I say he found us because that's really what it was. I, like every person who's ready to go and look for a dog, I was on the websites, I was on the groups, I was on this. So I was constantly getting inundated with Pet Finder and Adopt a Pet and Facebook notifications. And this is well pre-pandemic, right? So this is 2018. And one day this little min pin chihuahua comes through my phone, and I fell in love. I think I fell in love with the name more than the dog. His name was Van Halen. And so I applied for this dog, and I went through the process. I talked to people. I did all of the receiving end of the application process. And we got the good job, you're approved, but he's no longer available. And I thought, oh, snap, now what?
Yeah.
Right. And you know, as I go through this, because I volunteer and I work quite heavily within the rescue, that's really just part of it. Get your foot in the door, and then we will find you the right dog, because there's a process. I went in February 2019, and there are many stories surrounding the day that we found Dexter. Some really awesome and some not so awesome. And once I saw a couple of the other adopters that were there that day, they were very passionate about one specific dog. One dog, very passionate about 4 of them, 5 of them. And when women get passionate, they get louder. We both I looked at my sons, who at the time were very excited about getting a dog. They thought it was great because this dog looked exactly like our first dog. We looked and went, you know what? No, this dog is not meant for us. She's meant for somebody else. We look at the board. We see the board, because the rescue, as it's grown, as Shirley has indicated, the venues in where we do these events has changed significantly, and we're very flexible. It all goes throughout the, you know, with COVID, without COVID. And I see this little fella on the board, and I thought, okay, maybe Dexter. What do you guys think about Dexter? And they both kind of went, well, he looks like a Chihuahua. He's he looks like all these other dogs. But he's got a Corgi in him as well. So he's this adorable little Chihuahua with Corgi legs that are about 4 inches tall. And he wasn't there yet. He was at the foster home, and they all, because of his anxiety, you know, this chill boy who's going to hang out on my lap all night, his anxious behaviors, the fosters brought him usually near like the end of these events, from my understanding.
Right.
And I went just kind of wandering around looking at different things, because my excitement of the day was there as well. And his fosters walk in, and this dog looks at me, does a little tail flick.
Yep.
And I was like, oh, You choose me. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That one. Check, please.
Yep.
That's the dog we want. And so I
Yeah.
go and I write the name down, and one of the directors at the time comes up. She goes, do you want to take Dexter home right now?
Mhm.
Because the event had barely started yet. And I said, yes, please. So,
Mhm.
and the rest is history. And
Yeah.
it was in a timely fashion, because a year later, you know, the world just goes, "Meh, meh," and then
That's right.
everything just kind of happens. And Kim mentioned briefly about how, you know, we rescue these dogs, we do right by these dogs, but really, he has been a big part. Like, the kids debate every night of who gets to sleep with Dexter, because
Yeah.
Dexter's a cuddle muffin at nighttime. And so
Mhm.
he's kind of given us purpose. And I have jumped, since adopting him, I've jumped head first and never looked back in helping out with the rescue. Between doing adoption stuff and helping with phone calls and being part of the foster program to help dogs like Dexter get ready to be their best selves, to be their
Yeah.
forever, to meet their forever families. So
That's
that's kind of what brought us here, and this is all about him. So
That's great. Well, that's such a wonderful story. And again, just to hear how one little sequence of events just changes the rest of your life and Dexter's life as well. So that's a wonderful story. Appreciate for sharing. Now, who else would we like to meet? Who else is here to meet us?
Kobe is our grumpy old man. He will be 12 in a few months.
Wow.
He came to us as an owner surrender with a mouthful of broken teeth and a thyroid that didn't work. So he was about 22 pounds.
Oh.
He was a little overweight and very, very sad. When he first came to us in the foster situation, he used to sit at the gate on our front porch and cry actual tears because he couldn't understand why his family wasn't there to get him.
Hmm.
And we had him for several months and decided that we couldn't take the heartbreak anymore. He needed to stay with us.
Yeah.
And so he did. And we got his teeth fixed and we got him on medication. And so he's lost about 8 pounds now.
Yeah.
So he's doing much better.
Mm-hmm.
He's very cranky. He likes his routines. He likes
Yep.
his blankets. He does not like the puppies. But he does not cry real tears anymore. He is a much happier little dog.
That's wonderful. And finally, we have Marlene and Tyler. And who would you like us to meet?
So this is Ellie, and Ellie's sleeping right now, snoring a little bit. But our story doesn't start with Ellie. Our story starts with a little girl named Charlotte. So Tyler and I have been together since we were 18. We're 28 now. We always wanted to adopt a dog, but just between school, I'm a nurse and Tyler's a physician. And when we kind of were at school and kind of across the country from each other, it just seemed like things never really lined up for a dog. And then the pandemic came, and that's been busy for us healthcare providers, of course. But we were really, really keen to get a dog, and Tyler was starting a master's that he was going to be able to do from home. So it just felt like really good timing. And we found the rescue online. Kind of, we had been looking for a number of months. Yeah.
Kind of few, a bunch of different rescues, and, putting our names in and seeing all these different dogs through various rescues, and, didn't find the one, didn't work out. We didn't hear back. And then we kind of stumbled across
Texas Chihuahua Rescue. Yeah. And kind of like what you were saying, Christine, you'd see a dog and you'd kind of fall in love and maybe put in for it. And then it just was very, it could be really upsetting to not get the dog because you become attached right away. But we found Texas Chihuahua Rescue and we put in our application and we went through the process, and it was a great process. It was very thorough and everybody was lovely. And, it didn't take long. Everything kind of lined up. And we specifically were very open to having an older dog, maybe a dog with medical concerns, things like that. We were, whoever was in need, we were happy to take. So we came across Charlotte, her name was Kiki, and we renamed her Charlotte. Tyler will show you Charlotte.
Yeah. So this Charlotte, there's a bit of a glare.
Nice. Wow.
Aw.
So Charlotte came to us, or we put in for Charlotte. And Charlotte, as you can see from that, Charlotte had one eye, and she had a
bunch of surgeries,
surgeries recently, and tumors removed,
heart
and
murmur,
heart murmur, and lots of different things. But that didn't really scare us off. We fell in love right away, and we just felt really lucky to be the ones to get her. And picking her up was one of the greatest moments ever. Yeah, it was great. But unfortunately, Charlotte was much kind of sicker than anybody knew.
Yeah.
And Charlotte was with us only a few days before we ended up having to bring her to the animal hospital.
So after a few days, I mean, we took her there, and she was kind of sicker than we thought, and she was there in the hospital for a few days. And I mean, thankfully, we, you know, with COVID and everything, we were able to go in, you know, here and there to see her for the few days she was in there. And unfortunately, kind of a week or so before Christmas, actually, she was just kind of, you know, not doing too well. And we made the very, very tough choice to, you know, focus on making her comfortable, and kind of went through that. Unfortunately, could be there with her, you know, some of her favorite blankies, and which was great, and, you know, very challenging and a very difficult thing to go through. And just you know, everyone with Texas Chihuahua Rescue was just so unbelievably amazing. You know, we were very upset, of course, and the response from everyone that we were involved with was so remarkable and supportive and caring, reaching out and sending cards, and just saying and doing absolutely anything they could to support us through that. Can't say enough.
It was great. You know, like Charlotte died on a Friday, and we waited until Sunday, I think, or maybe Saturday, to reach out, because you're just so beyond devastated. You know, we didn't have her long, but we had imagined having her forever. So it was a terrible loss, but great support. Diane, who is our the coordinator in our region, can't say enough good things about Diane. We love Diane. We're very close to Diane still. And Diane was on the phone with us on Sunday night, you know, crying with us, spent an hour on the phone with us, you know, truly was with us in our grief, and she knew there was not much that she could say, but just to be there for us, which she was. And, you know, Shirley and Tara reached out over email on a Sunday to tell us how, you know, devastated they were for us, and how upsetting it was, you know, on top of everything else, and losing her right before Christmas and having her such a short time. But everyone was so lovely, and it really helped the whole grieving process.
Well, to be able to do that in community, I mean, that's really what this whole rescue is all about too, right? Is it's families coming together and volunteers and all that, but they're there in the seeking times, but they're also there in the times when tough times come, which is incredible. That's great.
Yeah. They were amazing every step of the way, and Diane and everyone kind of encouraged us, and we for a while weren't ready to start looking again. And I think that we both really felt strongly that nobody could ever replace Charlotte, who we called Mouse, which was our nickname for her. And then one night, I don't know what happened, or no, what was it?
Well,
it was Christmas Eve. We got an email from Diane saying, "I think I found another dog from you, or for you." And we opened the email, and I burst into tears. And it was Ellie in the email, and it was on Christmas Eve. And we took time to think about it. And we had initially said no. We said thank you so much, but losing Mouse it just happened, and we appreciate you thinking of us, but it's too soon. And we said no, and over the months, other dogs were sent to us, but I always thought of Ellie. I don't know why. I always thought of her, and she had these really big eyes in her photo. But I thought, oh, but she went to a great home. I'm sure, you know, she was supposed to come up on the early January transport. And so I just kind of let it go. And then in February, it was still bothering me. And I said to Tyler, I said, listen, I think I'm going to reach out to Diane, and I'm just going to ask, I'm going to say, you know, can we just know, like, did Ellie go to a good home? Knowing the answer would of course be yes, because they placed lots of amazing homes. But I couldn't get her out of it, right? I talked about her all the time, and I thought about her. And then lo and behold, you know, on Sunday, I opened my Facebook page, and who is on my Facebook page on my home screen but Ellie? She did not end up going on the January transport.
Still looking for
She was
for
still
her family
looking for her family, and we went back and forth as if we weren't going to take her. Come on. All that, and it was incredible. We texted Diane, everybody celebrated with us, and it was amazing. And we'll never forget seeing her on Christmas Eve, and when we went to go pick up Charlotte's ashes too, there was a really special moment where we looked at the day that Charlotte was cremated, and she was cremated on the same day that we saw Ellie for the first time on Christmas Eve.
Wow.
So that was a really, I don't know, just a heartwarming moment.
Yeah, that's just that amazing story of when kind of one chapter closes, the next one opens up. You know, that's such a hopeful story. That's
now we have Ellie.
That's right. And what's the best thing about life with Ellie?
Oh my gosh, everything.
I think the best thing has just been seeing, you know, her personality really come out over the last few months.
Yeah.
You know, it sounds like at her foster, she was a very, very laid back older lady who didn't bark and didn't really love to walk, and just seeing her kind of bloom into this, you know, dog that loves to go for walks and sprints around the backyard and sometimes barks at big dogs through the window as if she's 50 pounds, not 4 pounds. Has just been so much fun. Wonderful.
That's wonderful. Well, we're so happy for you, and it's again just a great thing about this organization is that they see the adoptions through kind of from start to finish, but also as the life of the dog goes from start to finish. They're there. It's a wonderful community, and thanks so much for sharing your story with us. If somebody was considering doing and adopting a dog, what would you say, like in terms of what are the best ways to go about doing that, kind of through the Texas Chihuahua Rescue in Canada?
Well, we have a website. We have our own Canadian website. So if anyone's interested in adopting a dog, they'd go to our website. They'd click on the adoption application, and from there they would put their application in. And the application, once it goes through, it comes into our Canadian email address, and then we send it out to a volunteer who deals with that area. So for example, Grimsby, we have an area coordinator for the Niagara area. So she would they would handle that application, and they have to give some personal information, if they have pets, where they live, and a reference. Because in order to get to be approved for a dog, we have to do a reference check. We have to do a vet check of any pets, current pets or any previous pets, and we do a video home visit. So it's always we don't go to people's homes anymore, just because we can't, and especially with COVID as well. So now that's the way we do things. So you do it on video, and you get to know the families. And once everything's approved, we help them to find a dog that best fits their family and lifestyle. So if you want an active dog and you get or you have children that doesn't like, you're interested in a dog that doesn't like children, we're not going to obviously put a dog with you. So that kind of dog with you. So so the process can be very quick. We usually can have it done within about a week. And then now again with COVID, the wait for a dog now can be up to 6 months because of COVID and so many pre-approved adopters. However, if you wait it out, you will get your dog.
That's great.
Yeah.
So, and there may be some folks that are watching that, I like dogs, but at this time of my life, I can't have one, or I can't have another one, but I want to support what you're doing. Are there sort of materials or things that people could donate to you that would be helpful to the great work that you're doing?
Anything like harnesses is a big one. Dog sweaters, regular consumables. We have an Amazon wish list, which we can provide a link for. We're always in need of pee pads. Pee pads is a big thing, because these little Texas Chihuahua dogs, love them, but they come up in the middle of February and they go, "Oh, you want me to do my business where? In that? No, I'm good, thanks." And so rather than use their foster or their owner's carpets, we prefer to say, "Hey, yeah, you know what? There's a pee pad. Have at her." Towels, sheets, collars, leashes, all of it. Anything good, because anything towels, leashes, towels, sheets, and blankets get sent to Texas and to foster families for the extra care of a dog, to line crates with, to line kennels with, that kind of thing.
Okay, that's great. That's so helpful. And again, if you look in the video description, there'd be a whole list of things that are needed, and would so appreciate you to give those. So what you can do if you're in the Grimsby area, starting today, so that's May the 19th up until June the 2nd, you can drop off any of these items. Maybe it's a collar, a leash, a harness, towels or blankets or sheets. You can drop those off. There's a great big box in front of our church at 10 Mountain Street, the big sign. Just leave your items in the box, and we will make sure that they get picked up and sent to Texas, so that more dogs can find new homes with loving families here in Southern Ontario. So again, that's if you want to give a donation of any of the items that are listed, please drop by St. John's Church at 10 Mountain Street by June the 2nd. Leave your donation in the box, and we will make sure that it is put to good use and can continue to support the wonderful work that these very passionate volunteers and caring individuals are doing to really give a better life to families and individuals, and also to the dogs as well. Now, Shirley, if somebody wants to give maybe a cash donation, is there a way that they can e-transfer you folks?
Yes, you can make an e-transfer to the Texas Chihuahua Rescue, Texas Chihuahua Rescue Canada at gmail.com. Just thank you for having us and hosting this wonderful little interview. We're very thrilled, and we are very grateful to you for wanting to do this and taking this on for us. So we are very thankful to you and your church and the community for allowing us to be part of this and be part of the Grimsby community. I'm in Hamilton, so I drive through Grimsby quite a bit.
All right. Nice. Yeah. We won't hold that against you. That's okay. Hamilton's good. Well, we're so thankful for all of you for sharing your stories and the hope and just the joy that comes with welcoming a new member into your families. That's just such a great, encouraging thought. I'm Kyle Dorr from St. John's Church in Grimsby. This has been What's So Great About Grimsby, and we will see you next time.